that claims to be a representative of our people, we felt there is an urgent need to meet with people of your caliber, to be frank and open and engage, not on any other thing, but just to have an ultimate outcome that we all want, a better Gauteng that is safe, a better Gauteng that can create opportunities, a better Gauteng that can ensure that we remain the economic hub of our country. There are many things that we are planning. We don't want to continue with those plans if we don't know whether these plans are appropriate and correct. There are many things that we want to implement, but we don't want to rush only to find that there are many other things that our citizens feel that we need to attend to. There are many things that we want to put our budgets on, but those particular things can only happen if there's cooperation with our communities. So tonight we want to share with you our aspirations and what we are doing. In return, we politely ask you to engage and put things that you really believe that we are not attending to them, so that we can combine our thoughts and your thoughts and make a better Gauteng possible in whatever that we do. So we committed ourselves to 5 important things this year. The first one faced as human beings. We're coming out of COVID that created havoc and ensured that our economy is not performing. So many people lost their jobs, so many people lost their lives, so many things could not happen due to COVID. When we thought COVID was over, we were battered by the energy crisis, load shedding, and the limitations of energy availability so that we can be in a position to create an economy that can perform. As part of our responsibilities as government, we tried our best to ensure that we calm the situation, and we are proud that we've finalized all the necessary support system so that our economy can perform in our province. We've launched what we call special economic zones, and we've attracted big companies. We've attracted Ford, BMW, we've attracted companies in every space of our economy to ensure that Gauteng performs. We're also ensuring that our tourism market, our tourism sector, our tourism industry is open so that those that want to come to our province can feel free to come to our province. We've demarcated our province into 5 strategic economic centers, with Gauteng or Johannesburg focusing strictly on ICT, finance, and most importantly, the digital economy. And there, we've attracted very good companies like Google, who are now investing in our province. We have also started to host a big data center where some institutions feel that their data will be much safe if it's located in Gauteng. And our finance and banking industry, majority of them are based here in Gauteng, except that bank that is in Stellenbosch, is an affirmation that indeed the banks feel safe in our province. We've also moved with speed to ensure that in whatever that we do, we can connect people. We've invested in the internet connectivity, and we've just allocated an almost 800 million, if I'm not mistaken, contract to have an internet or the Gauteng broadband internet connectivity so that businesses can function with the necessary connectivity. And all that is based here in Gauteng. Then took Tshwane to say in Tshwane, we want to focus on 2 crucial sectors. The first one, obviously, is the public administration sector, the offices of government departments, the offices of foreign nationals in terms of ambassadorship, and the offices of institutions that support governments. You will know that in Tshwane we have all these institutions. For them to operate freely, for them to work freely, and for them to do their work, we are trying very, very hard that Tshwane becomes indeed an administrative hub of our country. There are many calls, even though we are not entertaining those calls. Maybe in the next few years we can entertain those calls. That even that parliament that is in Cape Town that has been burned down, maybe it's better to build it here in Gauteng, in Tshwane in particular, so that it can create the opportunities that we want. So we are positioning Tshwane to be the administrative hub of our country and ensuring that everyone that works in Tshwane feels safe and ensuring that even the African Parliament, it's located where it will be easy to provide the necessary support. But the automobile industry is big in Tshwane. So therefore, we're bringing and attracting the automobile industry. Nissan agreed to come to Gauteng. They're in Tshwane now. BMW have just confirmed that they are adding an extra almost 4 billion rands to expand their plant in Tshwane. We've already attracted all the Fords that you see in Europe, the Ford motor vehicles, the new Fords, they are built here in Tshwane. So at least we've managed to capture them. Even though they're putting huge demands, they feel that the Durban harbour is not assisting them. They've requested us to create a new railway line to take the switch, means that we have to move out of petrol and go to electricity or energy cars. And by 2030, all the companies that are producing cars in our province, they have to start producing electric vehicles. And I know all of you, you said electricity vehicles. Every 30 kilometers, if possible, we must convert some of the garages that we know now. We must change our infrastructure to accommodate this new reality. This is a new reality, good people. I've just returned from China. Out of 10 cars that they have on the road, 8 are now electric cars, are EVs. And we have to enter that particular space and move with speed. So the two economic tools and the economic pillars of Tshwane will be the public administration tool and the automobile industry, and ensure that we satisfy them and we do everything that they do. And I must be honest, it's not been easy. You know, every time you open and expand, I know BMW was trying to expand on some of their work. There are people that knock at the door and say 30% and disrupt the expansion. Many people that come, called construction mafias, that disrupt many projects that are happening in our province. We are responding to that, and I'll come to that issue when we deal with the issue of security. So we then took a decision that the Sidibeng or the Vaal, Vereeniging, Van Arbel area should be a water economy and ensure that we take advantage of the Vaal River and convert the entire area as a river city. This is the special kind of water that we are opening up in the Vaal. Henneken, Amstel have agreed to open up their similar in the Vaal. So that kind of water is being manufactured in that area of the Vaal. But bottled water is big in Africa. Bottled water is big in Africa. So we want to take advantage of the resources that we have there. It's a natural resource of the Vaal Dam and the Vaal River, of something that is called steel. Steel, it's still something that we can harness and take advantage of that particular economy. What we have done now, and it's part of our plans, and I'm glad that the MEC have just stepped in now, because any economy starts with the road. If you don't have proper roads, you'll never have a proper economy. We've now taken a decision, we've put a budget, MECs here will give you the figures, 40 top roads that have collapsed in the Vaal, and we are correct in dealing with them. So we've taken a decision as this government, 40 top roads in that area. We are moving in from the 1st of August, all those particular roads will be upgraded so that we can deal with this. Then you go to the west, the home of Homona Lady. We are taking advantage of 2 areas. So this is the only area in our strategic posture that we are focusing on the mines. You know, when you say Gauteng is mining, but those mines are gone. So we need to have a new economy. And that new economy, the only area where we are confining our mining activities is the Western. But we are bringing tourism and we are bringing agriculture in that area. The agri-food area, we really believe that it will be strong in that particular community. So that's how we've repositioned the economy of Gauteng now, so that we can emphasize on how big we can grow this economy. And we can't compete with Dubai. We can't compete with Shanghai, with this Johannesburg CBD that we have. We need a new CBD. that must compete with the best in the world and move in that particular direction. So we are putting our resources, therefore, in that particular direction. MEC Maile has been given a task to, because you can only establish a new city if it is anchored in our province, so that we can compete with the best and move in that particular direction. So we are working on consolidating all these aspects, but we have to migrate, good people. I know we are discouraging this element, but we have to migrate. The future way of doing things, and unfortunately, we have to pay a price, and I'll come later on those particular aspects. But we believe as Gauteng as well, that the economy is in the township. The townships are massive, the numbers are there. We can be in a position to kickstart our economy and ensure that township business becomes proper business. We can't leave townships when we have to grow the economy of Gauteng. So we've passed a law called the Township Economic Development Act. It's an act now, and we've committed ourselves that as this government that runs a budget of almost 150 billion annually, that's almost 60% of our budget, we will buy goods produced in our... To rebrand those township stores that are owned by South Africans, we don't end there by rebranding them only, we buy from them. That's the only way we can defeat those that are coming from other things. So we've established warehousing that will support businesses in the township. We've also established the marketing of these particular businesses and the funding of this particular business. So township economy, it's another powerful tool that we want to utilize as we move forward. So that's how we've repositioned priority number one. Ensure that Gauteng is a digital economy. Agile, responsive, it can be in a position to carry everyone and create opportunities for our people. But there is one big problem, good people. We've got the highest number of people that are unemployed. Unfortunately, they're not also appropriately skilled. We've just advertised 7,000 new posts on the 16th of June. For 7,000 posts that we've advertised, we received, the last count, 452,000 applications. 452,000 applications for 7,000 posts. That's the reality of the situation in our province. But as this collective leadership, we have taken a decision that this 400 or 500,000 people that applied for our jobs, 6,000 new people to be trained as nurses in our province, we'll take 6,000 from there, go and train them so that they can come and service our people in our hospital. If there are people there out of 6, they're now on, that is applying for a tender in Gauteng, except the issue of price, they must tell us how many jobs, and we will give them the number of people that are coming to go and say. We have to confront this unemployment head on, good people. We have... and that's the next priority. If we want to make Gauteng safe, we have to defeat unemployment. But we don't defeat unemployment only by creating jobs. We have to reskill those that need to be reskilled. If we don't have the human resource capacity that can drive our economy, we're not going to get things right. You go to South Korea, there are no mines there. They only rely on human capital to create new opportunities. We have to do that. And as this collective as well, we have taken decisions to say, let's identify a problem. Out of that problem, create job opportunities. And the first one we've identified was say crime is big in our province. And I'll come to that issue of crime. We then advertised 6,000 young people that can go and assist us to fight crime. And then we came and said we've got a problem of electricity. We want to put solar panels to those people that are poor and indigent. We then advertised for people to be trained to be solar panel installers. We requested 6,000 posts. We received almost 56,000 applications. But we are taking all of them, those 56 people. It means that they need to be trained on how to install solars. And then we have now advertised people to go and repair potholes. We've advertised 6,000 posts as well, and hopefully we'll be in a position to assist people. We can't have an economic hub of a country When the traffic lights go off, somebody who have smoking Nyaupe is the one that is controlling traffic in our state. The intention and the willingness must be there, but it's not right. It's not right. Should not be encouraged. So we've just advertised 6,000 people that will do the trafficking also in our province. So we are coming to you to say we have a plan to rebuild this province. We have a plan economically to ensure that we grow. For the first time in our province, even though we want to establish our own city, there is a city that is developing nicely by private sector called Waterfall. We need to take advantage of that and ensure that you don't have unnecessary restrictions and give them the necessary support to grow. And there are other pockets that are growing that we need to take advantage of that. The second priority, good people, and this one is very close to our hearts. This is the one that we say, if we can't deal with this one, take us out of power. Fellow citizens, we can't live in a country where we even fear our own shadows because criminals have taken over our province. We can't live in a province where every time the Minister of Police is releasing statistics, Gauteng is high. We can't live in a province where people can determine who need to be kidnapped today and ask for a ransom. We can't live in a province where people determine or they play God who must be killed and who must be alive. We can't live in a province where we spend all our money that we have that is not there to buy alarms, butler doors, CCTV, and hire private security. We can't live in a province where even our children, when they go out, you wonder whether they will come back. We can't live in a province where our women are attacked left, right, and center. We can't live in a province where our children are kidnapped and assassinated. We can't live in a province where crime is the order of the day. To such an extent that we get used to this thing. Even in our freeway, there's a cash heist that is happening. People don't even want to call police because they think it's meaningless. They will rather used to have a budget of 800 million. And it used to just have some roadblocks there and other things. We think that era is over. You can't police this province with knopkiris. That era is over. We can't police this province with roadblocks. And the roadblocks are only where people are coming from entertainment area. You want to arrest them so that you can have something from them. You can't. We can't have that kind of policing. We can't have that kind of policing. So we are moving this department that was an 800 million department. And we are pleased, and the MEC is here that is responsible for e-wallet. We are moving this department from an 800 million department to a 4.7 billion rands to go and fight crime. And the plan is there, good people. There must be no inch of Gauteng that is not covered with high-quality CCTVs so that we can move things that can fight criminals called drones, that they can be armed and be dispatched and fight these criminals. We have taken a decision that in everything that we are going to do, every policeman must have the necessary resources. We have dispatched new cars to all our police stations so that no one who calls a police station, the police can say we don't have cars. We have ensured that they've got all the technology that they want, and we have also ensured that we get the resources that can be our eyes and ears. People laughed. We've got 6,000 young men and women that are guarding, especially in the townships, and we are now bringing helicopters. We're ensuring that we've got e-panic buttons in all our phones. Actually, we've declared war against criminals, and we are ready to confront them head on. If we can't get crime right, we'll never get our province right. We'll never attract people who, in their normal senses, have spent 10 working days in China. We just came over the weekend. And every top company, H3C, every top company that is in China, when they open their mouth, they say, we don't feel safe in your province, Premier. And no one wants to come and invest here because they really believe that they are not safe. So our skills base will not attract the best. We can't find a situation. I mean, you can't even compare any of our CBDs. Either Johannesburg, Krugersdorp, Springs, they've collapsed. And purely because of crime. I mean, if you move in Cape Town, you ask yourself, because we have to ensure that we fight and push back. We can't have this illegal mining just happening the way they like. So we are coming to you to say we're going big. We're going big on crime. We're going to get additional eyes and ears, but we're going to use technology. The satellite must assist us where there are criminal activities. We must dispatch the necessary force to push them back. We must ensure that crime in our province is pushed back. But good citizens, we are going to be inconvenienced. And I want to upfront apologize for that. For example, to stop cash heist, to stop ATM bombings, to stop business robberies, we must get rid of cash and convert this province into a cashless province. That's the only way to ensure. Even my uncle nowadays, when he asks money, he does not ask money. He says, no. So the mind is there that we can get money differently in our society. So we have to take this province into a cashless province. You do that, we know that at least 70% of our problems are over. I'm glad all our hotels now in our province are cashless. I've given the task to eGov to take all government departments to cashless. We are speaking to the retail industry, or Woolworths, Spar, and all these particular shops. They must go cashless. All of you, you go to Dubai or go to any other country. You don't even know the currency of the country because you are using your card to make payment. We are a sophisticated province, good people. We can deal with that. If there's 10% or 5% of people that needs to remain with cash, it's so. But the majority of our people must migrate to cashless so that there is no incentives for criminals vastly compromised. Every crime in our province, a car is involved. Either that car was hijacked or that car is a getaway car. And if you check the number plate, it's false. Because we have a number plate where people can remove easily and put it back easily. We have to go to an upper level. The MEs, that's the kind of integrated approach that we have to fight criminals in our province and ensure that we deal with the issue of crime. Good people, if we can't fight crime, it's game over for all of us. It's game all over for all of us. I mean, you go to Captain Park, a beautiful city next to an international airport. Go to any other world, a city next to the airport is the most expensive city to be. You go to Captain Park, it survived through cash loans and cell phone repairs. It can't be. It can't be. So we need to reclaim our cities. We need to push back. We are not xenophobic or otherwise. If you are illegal in our country, document yourself or leave our country immediately. Document yourself or leave our country immediately. And we need a new police force that will be dedicated to hunt for these people who are illegal. It can't be by chance. It can't be by chance. It must be by determination. We must flush out people that are taken, do something bad, and run and hide somewhere. So we are putting all these cameras where, or some of us, are just increasing. The hostels are worse. So this government that we have the honor to lead has prioritized the improvement of townships, informal settlements, and hostels to ensure that we have proper infrastructure in those. You can't go to a township every time you must jump over sewer. You can't go into a township. Somebody have just built something without a plan. You don't even know this thing can fall or what. People just build the way they wish. We are going back to the township to restore order there. If we have a building that is not properly authorized, in our own country. So we are putting our resources to improve as part of our processes. But the fourth thing that we are prioritizing, we want to strengthen the capacity of the state. The capacity of the state. I always argue with the team that, cost of living is caused by us. Because if we had quality education, there will be no need for people to go and take their children to private education. If we have quality hospitals, there will be no need for people to have this huge medical aids. If we have proper security, there will be no need for people to have cameras in their houses. If we have proper transport, there will be no need for people to pay this huge amount of fuel for their cars. So we need to build the capacity of the state for the state to do what a state must do. Our hospitals must be clean, beautiful, and take care of them. Quality of the doctors and the work of the doctors. People complain about cleanliness. People complain about long queues. It means the core function of the hospital at least is functioning. Let's sort out these non-core things. If we need Panados in our hospitals, we know the company that is producing Panados. Let's go and buy it directly there. So we are putting our own pharmaceutical company. Because we can't afford our people going to hospitals and told we've run out of medication. Or we are run out of meat, we are run out of bread. So we're building the capacity of the state to respond on all these particular issues. We are also building the capacity of this. We run 150 billion rand account every year. But the banks that are running this particular account don't take us serious. When we say to them, the townships can't remain four-roomed forever. What kind of partnership can we do to change the look and feel in the township? And they think townships are not the proper market for them. They are taking our money and take it to their friends and those that they think can do better things. So we're building the capacity to manage our finances and building our capacity to ensure that we can be a government that is proud of its work. So the last aspect is the reason why we are here. We really believe we have not created a platform to strengthen communication and interaction with our citizens. So we are building the capacity to communicate with you so that we can have sessions like this and we can have an opportunity for you to raise issues that you want to raise with us. So we are also prioritizing our communication, our network. We are also prioritizing ensuring that you can communicate with us on things that affect you. But good people, we don't have two passports. We've got one passport that is written in South Africa. We have to fix South Africa for ourselves. We have to fix our province for ourselves. And we do that, a better Gauteng will emerge. A better, safer Gauteng will emerge. We might have faults, we might have limitations. We are coming to you to say we have learned from our mistakes. We are ready to lead you now, and we will lead you into a better, safer Gauteng. Thank you so much for your attention. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Premier, for the perspective, for laying out that which the government of our province is committed to doing, but it is also doing. Thank you for reminding us of the 5 corridors that define how government has planned to expand on opportunities for its citizens in Gauteng. Thank you, Premier, for reminding us about that which is contained in the provincial plan called the Growing Gauteng Together 2030, to which we would want to encourage you to continue to look at and determine whether government is doing that which it had set itself to do. Thank you, Premier, for reminding us of that which you spoke about in the State of the Province address, copies of which, by the way, are on your seats, and we would want you to engage with them on an ongoing basis and determine whether this government is doing that which it had committed to do. And finally, Premier, thank you for having reminded us of the key priority areas that you spoke about in the SOPA, that are articulated in the Growing Gauteng Together 2030, that are part of the elevated priorities, and those are the economy, how we would move to ensure that we tackle an aspect of unemployment, how crime must be taken on head on, how we should, as part of this process, develop townships, informal settlements, and hostels. How to do all of this requires that the capacity of the state must be improved. And finally, how communities must become participants in all of these plans. And it is at this point in time that I'm going to call to the podium to help us engage, and I'll call Andiswa to come and lead this section of the, can we give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, Program Director. Let me acknowledge the Premier once more, and Executive, your team that is here, and the accounting officers. Want to also acknowledge your presence and for gracing us. I'm humbled to be facilitating this part of the session, which is a Q&A, which is what you are here about, and I'm sure that you've been looking forward to that. So the People's Government has just spoken. So this is your opportunity to comment and ask for questions of clarity, but I'm going to be very strict with you. I know that you've had a long day at work, so we will give you 2 minutes each. But if you want to also speak for 30 seconds, it's also fine. So we'll also be moving according to the blocks. I am going to ask that the roving mics start on my left-hand side, your right. We will move to different blocks. So I will interchangeably move the mics. If we could have hands, and when you do speak, I'm requesting that you introduce yourself, introduce the industry that you are coming from, and get straight to the point. We want to be able to cover all of you. But where we can't, we are going to ask you to write your comments and leave them with us, with the team. This is the first session of many. So you are going to have different sessions. The government will definitely make sure that it's going to close the gap between yourselves and the government. So I'm going to start. If I could have a hand, there is 1, 2. Okay, there's a lady there as well, 3. If we could start with the mics, please. Thanks.
Good evening, Premier. Good evening to the executive and to all HODs. My name is Roger Latchman. I'm proud to stand here in front of you to say that I am the Director General of an organization called the International Institute for Ethical Governance and Accountability. Amongst other things that I do, I'm also a businessman, and I'll share with you something else as well later. So one of the things that, and I'm proud to have heard your speech, Premier. You've identified a lot of different areas that need to be fixed in Gauteng, and I really commend you on that. However, there's one glaring, we don't respond to tenders anymore. And the reason for that is because when you do, you don't get responded to. You don't know where the process is. The process is, we still hear in the media about the areas of, especially in Tembisa Hospital, okay? But we still reminded about the death of Babita Deokaran and others. Whistleblowers are afraid to speak up. So we stand ready, have international resources that are available to assist. Let's work together to build a society where corruption is eradicated.
Thank you, Ndati. Thank you. The next one.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Makofe Moari. I've started a company called Anokomaro Holdings, which is an eco-solutions company. What we do is we have water purifying solutions. But I found it very difficult when you approach municipalities in terms of doing demonstrations, wanting to show them how our products work. We can literally clean up dirty waters within 10 minutes with the solutions that we have. I have a scientist that I work with together. So the products that we have are for mining companies and also for personal consumptions. For the mining companies, we remove heavy metals from the waters, your cyanide, your cadmium, your mercuries from the water to clean the waters that they use to clean the coals or to clean their gold with. But it's difficult getting a door in to do a presentation. So I wanted to find out, is there a way that can be fast-tracked or help us, young upcoming companies, to put out our solutions? Because the country as it is, we are suffering. There's no proper water, you know, whether it's for personal consumption or even, you know, in the heavy industries.
Premier, my name is Mkoli Sengwane. I'm from Soweto. We have started a company, myself and my colleague, under alternative sanitation technology, after realizing that the government has challenges, particularly informal settlement, from the pit latrine toilet and your chemical toilet. So we fully developed a waterborne solution to respond to those challenges. But I can assure you, Mr. Premier, that the market in Gauteng, in fact, is rejecting us. But I would like to host you because we have done a demonstration under the city of Johannesburg through Johannesburg Water. And we did a pilot to demonstrate our technology that was invented by myself and my partner. But the reality is more than 5 years, we are unable to penetrate the market. Over and above, part of the model that we have defined is that as soon as the government of Gauteng, we have approached different municipalities in Gauteng. Our system, it was tested through Water Research Commission, and it's been certified that is applicable for the consumption of the human being in different informal settlement. But I can assure you, the government of Gauteng is rejecting us penetrating the market, and we can demonstrate to that effect. Thanks.
Good morning, colleagues. Oh, good evening, colleagues, sorry. My name is Fika Mokwana. I'm the president of SA Women in Business, driving SDGs. And I'm so happy to see my MEC for health, Gauteng. Several MECs, we've got this tendency that the MECs, it's nice when we hear. As soon as we get out of this wall, they always forget about us. So I'm just requesting MECs, when we send invite to you, responding to our calls, and we also invite them on the 27th in Tembisa. We'll be hosting the State of Township Address. We've got problems, our businesses are closing down, inequality, malls are setting up, they are full of malls in our township, filling station. Who are the beneficiaries? We don't know. So we need to be beneficiaries of those. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Premier, MECs, HODs. I'm Dr. Lance Levine. I'm the Vice President of the Ekurhuleni Heritage, Tourism and Heritage Association. I just want to first say that I feel that tourism is often neglected. You know, when you look at the budgets generally, I mean, even through this one, there's very little in terms of tourism. And yet tourism is crucial for the building of opportunities, for the building of the creation of education, for getting people into the country. And therefore, we've put together from this Ekurhuleni Association, Tourism Association, many projects which we know is going to build the education in the area. It's going to create job opportunities. It's going to create an amazing learning management scenario to take us seriously, which I feel they haven't, because we have many times tried to get hold of people within the Ekurhuleni and Gauteng government in terms of getting our projects online, and we haven't been able to do that. So therefore, we're forced to approach private companies to be able to make something of the country. We love this country, we love this region, Please help us.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Matala Kweta, who is a bishop staying in Binoni and in Tembis. Mine is to just I've done a research to check as to whether the brass band that we use, where do we get it from? My research says we are the top 10 in the world buyers of brass band. But we don't have, even in the continent, that manufactures. We started a company in 2018 called Kwepe Manufacturing, sustain indigenous churches. My question is, how can you assist us to penetrate and ensuring that we see the day of light in that project? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I would really first like to appreciate the work done by our Honorable Premier and his government. Graduates of Western Economical can really appreciate. But that's where they land, where you come to, it does not reach people. You come to Randfontein, everything is held right in Randfontein town municipality. People are not there. Even the information to get to people, it's very difficult. They don't. Our previous MEC, Comrade Pastor, when they came with township community and rural development, they only came in areas where people were not there. And that was a problem. Until today, there's that gap. So we realize that now we need to launch this, association whereby we become the voice of the people. Whenever you come, we receive this and then we distribute to the people. And we say, people, let's go there, so that everyone can benefit.
Igama lami nguMbuso Dlamini, and from the elevator industry. Thank you, Babul Sufi, for inviting us. I'm glad you spoke about training solar panel installers. But now the problem is we train people, but when we're looking for jobs or tenders, in the tenders, there is a story of the OEMs. So the OEMs are really kicking us out of business or out of jobs. Can the province please do away with OEMs? Because even the OEMs, there is something that they cannot do.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Albert Maja from Tembisa, Matela Gufa. We are having a company, Tsamaya Tutong Sevita Academy. We cover the gender-based violence and upskill the community. Our college is right inside Matela Gufa. The reason being that we don't want to neglect them because they are from informal settlement. And we want them to walk to the college. We don't want, this is why our college is based in the informal settlement. So we like to thank our premier. I think for a very short space of time, he did a lot of things. We need to give credit where it is due.
We move into the next row, but I'll allow the last question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Comment.
My name is Chelizi Munasi. The question is quite sensitive. It goes to the MEC as safety or transport and the premier as well. And MEC finance. Last year, I lost my son on those buses in Tembisa. And apology, Premier, that when you were talking about hiring securities, I tagged in to say you also need to fix the police. I'm glad you're now going on it. It's more than a year. Gauteng police, even General Mawela, they can't assist me in a satisfactory manner. Finance, when we try to get tracker records from Harambee, they are saying for 6 months, their trackers hasn't been working, but you have been paying for tracker. That's not considered as a wasteful expenditure. Because the reason why they're refusing with tracker records is that their storage doesn't match. So MMC Transport, Ekurhuleni, unfortunately with the chop and changes, 3 different MMC have engaged them, but your HOD, Umem Landela, I don't know if she's here. I have engaged her, but she seems very uninterested. And she sends an officer who can't face Harambee. So please, Premier, Tembisa Kikwako Heno, it's a call to you directly as the Premier. I know that's why I said it's a bit sensitive. Go look on accidents happening in Tembisa specifically on those buses. If you seem to be very brave in dealing with crimes, can you be very brave as well in dealing with taxi owners, because Harambee is owned by taxis? I've met the chairperson.
The People's Government is listening. So we're moving to the row on the left. Okay, the Premier would want to respond first before we move. Okay.
Sorry about that, Andy. So I thought maybe we can respond to some of the questions. The MECs are here. Maybe give them the benefit to respond, and then we can take the next round so that we don't cause unnecessary repetition of the same questions. But we are all here, so we are not going anywhere. So even when we break, we'll be here. You can go directly to any MEC that you want to speak to. We're joined by the MEC responsible for e-gov and local government, MZI. We're also joined for the MEC responsible for transport, or in road transport and logistics. Am I right, MEC Kidibone, Dialetabela? MEC, if they can. So anything related to roads, she's responsible, so that you don't necessarily have to ask questions. When you break, you can just interact with them and attend to some of the issues. I'm not sure, MECs, can I give you the roving mic, those that want to respond, and then we can deal with other questions later. You want to start, MEC Miley? Yeah. You can come here, it's fine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for for the questions and the concerns. I think there's about the issue of tenders and corruption. I think one of the, and it will be interesting to get feedback from those who are doing business with us, who are tendering, in terms of how does the system we've put in place work, because we are the only province that has something called an open tender system. So even the, and I don't know when last did you tender with us, because they even do what they call public adjudication. And one of the complaints we have, because it's an unintended consequence of the introduction of this public tender system, is that we must appoint probity auditors. And these are external people who are not in government, who must be part of the process throughout. And one of the complaints we've been having is that that delays sometimes. And we're even saying maybe we must introduce a threshold because some of the, you find that the tender is 2 million, you pay the probity auditors 300,000, and all those issues. So we have taken steps a few years ago to deliberately deal with this issue of corruption. And there is no government, not even in the Western Cape. And I'm saying this because there is an allegation that in the Western Cape there's no corruption, things are done well. Not even in the Western Cape. I can tell you now, there's no government, not even in anywhere in Africa at least, I don't know about the world, where there is what we call an open tender system. And I think for me that's very bold, that's decisive, that's honest. We are not paying lip service to that issue. It's important that it must be understood. However, it is not perfect. It will never be perfect like any other system. So all I'm saying is that we have taken steps and measures to ensure that we deal with these issues. And funny enough, today I was sitting with a friend of mine who was telling me about the tender he won in the subs and all that. And he was saying to me, I don't know anyone subs and all that. And he was saying to me, yes, it's true. For instance, I know many people, and that's why I'll deal with that issue. And that's why we receive messages, because there's an expectation that an MEC will know everybody who does business in the department. It doesn't work like that. Unless you are an MEC who's not working, who's not doing your work, and you are concentrating on tenders, it's not possible. It's not. So you've got a lot of people who do work. They might know some officials and they do wrong things. I'm not saying wrong things are not that. There are rotten potatoes. There are. And that's why we have to put measures in place to deal with this. So I'm just explaining that because we have accepted and understand that there are rotten potatoes, we have to do something about it. We are not naive. We are not thinking that the system is perfect. So the point I'm making is that on our part, we're doing something about it. The second issue for me, it's the, okay, the issue of municipalities. And maybe if I had time, some other day, I would want us to discuss the issue of municipalities. Our municipalities are facing serious problems, serious difficulties. And I know it appears like, no, I have a solution, I give it to them. Their problems are, you would have listened to the mayor of Tshwane. He was at pains trying to accept the truth. And the truth is the municipality is bankrupt. The truth is the municipality is not able to provide services. So he was trying to say it's rent water, it's not us, it's load shedding, it's this and that. Hence, rent water had to convene a press conference and demonstrate that no, it's not true. We are not just servicing Tshwane, we are servicing everybody else. So the issue of municipalities, I think it's an issue that I think, Premier, we need to take responsibility and initiative as a provincial government to see how we can work with them to try and harness all these many initiatives that are there. Because entrepreneurs as well sometimes must take responsibility in understanding the business of government, the business of the different spheres. Because if somebody comes to me and say, I'm doing this thing for informal settlement, so Mkolisi says the provincial government rejected me. The provincial government is not responsible for water. It's not, it's in the constitution, it's not our responsibility. It's a constitutional responsibility enshrined, and it's the municipality that is responsible, it's national government that is responsible. And in fact, this takes me to the issue that Umama was raising. MEC of Human Settlement, I wrote to you about the title deed or whatever. Because I receive a lot of messages about title deeds, people who want houses, people who want tenders, and I've got a standard response. So if you ask and say, I need a title deed, and if this is how I would have responded. Please provide the details, and I have asked Mr. Sorenso, who's responsible for title deeds or beneficiary administration, to get in contact with you, and I've copied them. So that Mr. Sorenso can make a follow-up and deal with you, because I don't know the nature of your complaint. There's close to, if I'm not mistaken, and I hope I'm not wrong, close to just above 500,000 title deeds that must still be issued from different areas and all that. So there is no way I would have said, I would not have responded. If I did not see your email, then that's something else. But once I see it, I will respond. People need houses. Somebody will say, I registered in 1996. I will say, okay, speak to Mr. Sorenso or Mrs. Sorenso, because they will know the nature of your complaint. Then I have people who respond, maybe after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and say, you referred me to Mr. Sorenso. Mr. Sorenso has not helped me or has not come back to me or whatever. Then we are able to make a follow-up. So what I'm saying is, we receive a lot of complaints, a lot of inquiries. There's a different way in how we manage them department by department. But from where we are sitting, we endeavor to the best of our abilities to respond to a lot of issues. We've even, for instance, I have even received a lot of requests for meetings. And sometimes people don't take kind. I ask, okay, what is the meeting about? So that I can advise accordingly. And sometimes somebody will say, I need business, or I need this and that. I'll then say, oh, this belongs to this department or that department. And sometimes people will even say, you are referring me to GEP, who must I speak to GEP? Or you are referring me to this and that and all that. Because I think there are weaknesses. There are weaknesses, I agree. And we must never try to be defensive and think that we are perfect as government. We are not perfect, we are human beings. There will be instances where we might miss one or two things. So I would like, Mama, for you to give me that specific issue, and I will tell you before we leave here what I'm saying, who you must speak to, so that you are able to make that follow-up. Because there's somebody here who said the Premier is not working alone. The Premier is working with the MECs, working with the HODs, we are working with chief directors and all that. But I know sometimes people want you as the MEC to give them that title deed. But the issue of title deeds sometimes is a bit complex, because it has to do with a declaration of a township, for instance. Who must declare a township is the municipality. We must find out what are the issues. So I need to give you a correct answer. I can't just say, yes, I will give you the title deed, because sometimes people want you to just say, yes, I will give you the title deed, and when you are not able to do it, then you are in trouble. You said you will give me the title deed. So I will not say to you, I'll give you a title deed tomorrow, when I know that I will not be able to do it. I will only give you a date and say, I will give it to you tomorrow or next week or next month. Sometimes it's an answer that you might not like, but I must give you an answer. I have that obligation, because we are at your service. You know, Premier and MEC Mamabolo, the issue of OEMs, I think there's somebody who's raised it. I think it's a very important issue. We get it a lot in the infrastructure space, because sometimes we advertise, and it's there in health, MEC. Some of the OEMs anyway have got the monopoly because of the type of equipment that they provide. And you can't have middlemen and all that. We must, at some point, get to a situation where we are clear and lastly, the OEMs will give a better price than the SMMEs and all that. So I take that point, and I think it's a genuine point as well. I think those were the issue of the informal settlements as well, as my parting shot. And that's why I was saying it's important for the SMMEs to, because we have a grant that comes from national, and that grant resides with the metros, the 3 metros in Gauteng. And there is some element, but unfortunately that element is prescribed, which resides with the provincial government for the local municipalities. But the local municipalities, unfortunately, or fortunately, they also have other grants. So if you look at that informal settlement grant, look at the other grants related to what they can do. But otherwise, I agree with you that through COCTA in the province, we should find a way of creating a platform for small, medium enterprises to interact with the municipalities. It's unfortunate that the municipalities are an autonomous sphere of government. We have to coordinate them and provide that oversight, but including national government. Today we had the Department of Labor coming into our province through the provincial government, because they are responding to our NASISPANI program. And they are saying, we want to work with you, want to understand how we have done it. And I think that model can help us to work better with the municipalities. And I can tell you that our municipalities are in trouble. They need some of those solutions, because some of the solutions that you are coming with are going to save taxpayers a lot of money. Thank you very much.
They were saying in silence that MEC Mailu, you answered all the questions. No, I just want to strengthen on the answer you provided on the issues that were raised around the solutions, alternative solution on sanitation, alternative solution on water, because I am hearing you to be saying you want to be listened to, you want to be heard. You want doors to be open where you can make your own presentation and therefore marketing the product that you have. And part of our task standing here is to facilitate exactly that. So from the COCTA perspective, the HOD is there. They will take your contact. Any person who wants to speak to local government, they will take your contact. What we will do is, through our IGR, we will then be able to facilitate some of the issues that we are raising. In other words, we look at the issue, evaluate it, and see whether we can play a role as provincial government. If not, we use our IGR structures. IGR structures helps us to bring in local government into the play, or bring national government into play, depending on the issue that we are raising. We think that listening and facilitating is very important in this particular regard. So I think that's how we'll approach this. Thank you.
I'm not sure, because I come from Tembisa, I got so many questions from people from Tembisa. Maybe I should just have a session in Tembisa and resolve some of the issues. But thank you so much for that clarity, MEC Maile, and some of the areas that you want to. We will attend to the case. I thought MEC responsible for community safety, Jovicho, will respond to the set matter of the lost child through the taxi industry or the transport industry. I've noted that we'll attend to it. I know you've personally asked me to attend to it, just that I will need additional information to deal with it. The team from the office is here as well. I think they will assist us to track that aspect. we also have to deal with, Albert Maja, you raised the issue of, I think, Urtsamaya Tuton, the training institutions. We're trying to work, we've assigned that task to MEC Maile. We're institutions, so we'll take that information and work with you on how best to deal with it. I think it's Bishop that spoke about brass band. I thought you said brasso. You know, when I grew up, there was a brasso, you know. And my mom used to, especially when visitors are coming, I know the brasso will work. Yeah. So initially I thought we were speaking about that brasso. And then the DG indicated that kidi prompeta, basically. Yeah, kidi prompeta. So we've taken note of that. Unfortunately, MEC responsible for economic development, she's not here. Yeah, she's on leave. Who's acting for her? Yes. So Mureki Gio. So MEC Mzi will be in a position to assist you on that one. I fully concur with those that believe tourism is there. I think it's a doctor. You raise a matter about tourism. As Dr. Lance, as well as, I think, Mokwana. We agree with you. We might not have the ocean and the beach in Gauteng, but we've got beautiful things in Gauteng. So we will, I think, MEC, GDAT, and economic development will attend to those issues. So we can deal with that and ensure that we resolve those kind of things. But I like what, Mr. Corbyn, I'm not sure it's you on ethical governance, the need to fight corruption. And I always say to our teams, and especially administrative teams, that if we can't fight corruption, everything will be expensive, literally. So what we've done, we've appointed the former AG, Dr. Nombembe, to lead a team of people that will provide oversight on all major transactions that we're having. MEC Maile explained the open tender, but we said we can't be the people that do oversight on ourselves. So we've got an independent team, and I will want to link you up with that team. The independent is the Auditor General, SIU. We've given them a carte blanche to check whatever they suspect is wrong and guide us on how best to manage those issues. So we will indicate and attend to those issues. I'm just worried about time, but and I know there are many people that still want to raise issues, and I don't want to interfere with your timelines. But I will suggest that the MECs are here, the HODs are here. Maybe let me ask the HODs to stand up again so that I can introduce you per department, so that you can work on all the issues. Let me start on the far left. The HOD is responsible for GDAT, is responsible for social development as well. Yes, so anything that is social development, I don't have to ask the question, just go to her and the MECs as well. The next HOD is responsible for economic development. So anything about financing new businesses, he's here, he will assist you. The next HOD is responsible for local government. So anything, turn around so that they can see. Anything that is local government, he will do. The next MEC is HOD. Is HOD responsible for eGov. So anything that is internet connectivity, he is assisting us. The next HOD is responsible for health. Health and wellness, so hospitals, clinics, he is. And the next one is responsible for treasury, is acting, representing the HOD for treasury. So the PES is there. And then the next one is responsible for education, so the cost of education. So they're here, the MECs are here. The sports, China, yes. If you want to go and watch Banyana in Austria, you don't know how to do it. He will assist you. So together we are here, don't mind on this one, of all the questions that ones. But we will be outside here. We can be in a position to deal with these issues. Is it proper? Is it fine? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. We can mingle together outside. So.
Thank you, Premier. I see everyone is standing up now. I guess we've covered all the questions. Okay. We're going to just take the last round. So I'm not going to take, lots of hands in one block so that you have enough time to network. So I'll take only 2 hands on the second block. There is a lady with a red jacket. I will take your hand. Can I take the last hand at the back? You'll all get an opportunity to interact, and we are going to take, after this session, those that could not raise questions can also come to the front. We will take those questions, and you will be able to respond to you. So if it's you, and then there is a guy there at the end. Yeah, at the back, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Laverne Prinsloo, and I would like to talk about drones. And you've mentioned drones, very high level. And I also have noticed that there are talks about 500 drones that will be, going out on tender, and especially those drones will be for policing. But I've got a concern, Premier, that we're asking bluntly only for technology. And I was wondering, where is the strategy behind those technology? The same as eGov, there should be a drone strategy for government, and especially then for the Gauteng province, because drones means that we are currently using DJI, and especially China drones. What about our own manufactured drones? What about our own training? So I would like us to look at the entire ecosystem of drones. And especially, so I don't know which HOD or MSC I must contact. Should it be from eGov and speak directly then to eGov, and especially with Gauteng and especially those big projects for drones, so that we don't miss. And what I've also seen is then don't miss small businesses with drones, and just don't go for already established companies, but that we create this ecosystem for all of us as small business to function with drones.
Okay,
so
you
thank
take
you.
it up with the HOD. Thank you.
Good evening. The name is Mzugi Sikiligiti. I'm a founder of a company called Essential Biz. We deal with digital marketing and business consulting. So part of our businesses is to help small businesses to grow and look professionally and compete in the digital space. And one of the things that we found is that most of the businesses that we engage with don't have the financial means to actually fund the project of getting into the digital spaces. The problem is with the funding and the funds that they don't know how to access from government. So there was no mention of youth empowering of entrepreneurs, how to have access to funding, because we also lack workshops on how people to register their businesses and all those things. Hence, we have people that actually register businesses for 1.5, which a business costs like 175 to register. So the lack of information and resources on how to get funding from government or government channels is not there. Because also I have a friend that has been tirelessly rejected by banks just to grow his business. His business is doing well, but then he also can't invest in the expansion of the business because that business also feeds him.
Okay, so I think we've got the gist of that. The MEC, acting MEC economy will attend to that, and the HOD. So we are moving to the side. I want to identify, there's a lady there. And the red cap, where's the red cap? Okay, we're coming through, we will come there. We've identified you. Okay, the lady in black, yeah, here in the front, and another lady there behind you. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you to the Premier and everyone. My name is Angela. I grew up in Deep Slot. I had to mention that. I'm so excited about the whole Gauteng going to digital economy. I do believe that as South Africa and the province, we have capacity to go to those dimensions. And I would like to ask the Premier to consider the youth and women in business, I mean the tech and energy sector, and there are young people who are developing energy management systems and all of these things. So when all of the advertisement women, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Premier. My name is Bongi Shongwe. I come from Rodeport area. Ward 97. I think MEC Maile is very familiar with the area. I am in business, but I think I'm standing up on behalf of my community. Our people in our area live in squalor. There has been a project, I think, identified to relocate, I think we've got about 2 or 3 informal settlements. And there has been a project identified to relocate these people. And every time you speak to the city of Joburg, they say, no, but the budget is with the province. MEC Maile, I would like to thank you. He's always there when we call on him. I think now we just really want to see progress. We'd like, I think it's been 3 or 4 years in the making. We'd like to actually see something happening so that we can relocate our people so that they have decent housing. The project is called Helen Hills. I think your office is familiar with it. So apparently, according to City of Joburg, the budget is with the province, and would like to know what's happening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to move to the red cap because we've had already identified. Yeah, and the guy next to you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. My name is Simpwe Hlafa, the national spokesperson of a labor union called Manda Ash Workers Union of South Africa, which has about 23,000 members here in Gauteng, the Premier. But then thank you very much that I got the opportunity. Mine are only comments, Program Director. One, it is under your premiership, Mr. Panyaza Lisufi, that we have begun really to pride ourselves as residents of this province to be Gautengers. It is under your premiership. Each time you address us on behalf of the provincial government, a sense of patriotism is always reactivated in us, and thank you very much for that. Now, the other comment, it will be directed perhaps straight to the MEC of Agriculture. My proposal will be that, can we at least have a budget, Premier and the MEC, that talks on training, especially people from the township, on training them on a question of meaningfully using the land. I may be sounding like I'm promoting what is called land grabbing. If you drive down your N1 Udlulobo Orange Farm, you find people there, demarcated land for themselves or invaded land. Kufika lo uyuani, he inserts his shack there, and then there's a second person getting next to that one, then there's a third person. Now, they don't know how to use this land. I'm not saying that we must advocate for invading land, but at least in the process of us expropriating land, can you teach us how to use land meaningfully so that we establish food gardens in the process? Thank you very much.
The gentleman next to the official there. We're going to move to the left, which is the last block.
Good evening, Premier, and everyone in the room. My name is Zuko Milisi. I come from a company called Torrent Group. We are a manufacturing company. Now, my question would be this. What you have said, Premier, is very key, but I think you have left out one of the most crucial part of manufacturing, because a province that manufactures its own things is a province that will grow. And we stop buying from outside to create jobs, which will help the crime to go down. Now, looking at manufacturing, for an example, we do engineering. We do your gearboxes from the mines. If our own government lets the mining companies from outside bring their own spares, what does it say to the manufacturing industry within this province? How are we going to grow? Because now it will be like we're fighting for one spoon, there's 10 of us. As to these companies, they come in abundance, they come and take our resources in our province. They call their own companies outside to come and give them spares here. I'll give a slight example. I'm right next to Kibela where they manufacture trains. Majority of those parts, they come from Europe. We are there as manufacturers. What does that say to us?
Okay.
And another problem is payment of these companies to small companies, which is killing them, because we know that a small company depends on cash flow. If they take months in paying a small company, that company will not survive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're going to move to the last block. There's a hand there in the front. And I'm going to take the last row as well. There, just stop there, yeah. Next door, thank you. Please, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Program Director. And I also want to thank the Premier for affording us this opportunity to be able to say, to have a say in how to build Gauteng, in how to build South Africa at large. Because I believe that as citizens of this country, we are actually part and parcel of those that are to build the country. My name is Mo Hobbs. I'm a pastor in Kagiso, and I come from, I'm actually the president of Dunamis Women Empowerment. These are women that are pastors, women that are pastors' wives as well, because I believe that the majority of the people that needs to be empowered, that needs to be employed, that needs to participate in the economic activities of this country to ensure that the economy of this country is actually lifted up from where it is. They come from the churches. So we are the people that should be at the forefront. At the same time, I own a company called Lesedilas Chaba Consult. I do training and development. We are accredited with ETDP CETA. We are registered with the CSSD. But what I'm saying is that we don't get opportunities. We are accredited, but it is just on paper.
Okay, ma'am.
But at the same time, for the government who are unable to access those fields where we'll be able to to empower the people in South Africa. Because I believe that education is the most important thing.
Thank you, Mama. Can we
Especially skills development in this country.
Thank you. We've
Thank
heard
you.
you and taken note. The last speaker.
Good evening, everybody. Gamalam Sibonga Gonke Makatini from Imasakane Consortium, which is a group of young people that have come together to be the change that they would like to see in their communities. My question is that njengoba ubaba upremier ethi uthanda ukusebenzisana with communities, how exactly are you looking to do that besides, of course, these engagements, because now are still leaving quite a huge gap between the government and its people. So, ukusebenzisana nama communities kuzoba into kanjani? What is it looking like? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we had the last speaker. We're going to allow the Premier to just respond, and then I'll hand over to the Program Director. Thank you very much for allowing me to facilitate this session. You've been a very good audience. My name is Andiswa Mosai. Thank you.
MECs, you don't want to respond to some of the issues first, perhaps? Can I have the roving mic coming here? If you can just have drones, digital marketing, I think eGov can just.
Thank you, Premier. From roads and transport, I think, and it's out of interest on the manufacturer in the house, one of the things that the new number plate system comes up with is economic opportunities. And in the whole country, we have only 3 manufacturers of number plates. And these are only white male companies. And they produce for South Africa and for SADC region countries. And as a department, what we have done is that we have opened a registration process, because in terms of Section 5 of the National Road and Transport Act, you must be registered before you can be a service provider to produce number plates or register number plates as an embosser. So when encouraging you, the process is opened, and you can approach our offices at 45 Commissioner, counter 6 and 7 to get more information. And also enlist yourself if you have interest and you are a new entrant, because we are also about to roll out training sessions to assist those who have interest but don't have the knowledge and the know-how. The sector is still very untransformed, and it's a big economy, and we're encouraging all of you to participate. Thank you.
Thank you. I suspect we might need to have a session on economic opportunities. Just a session on them, because I can see majority of questions that I've got this, I need this, I've got this, I need this. We, through the MEC responsible for Treasury, we publish books that indicates which streets are we going to build, how many schools are you going to build, where, how many clinics, all these things. When he delivers the budget, he attached that booklet. What I would suggest that immediately after tabling it, we might need to convene such a session so that we show people where we are going to make. There are lots and lots of opportunities that we've got lots of opportunities as government, so we will do that and arrange that session. I think it's the last person that raised the question on way forward. How are we going to engage further? We preferred this session, so I think the team is there. If you feel you want to suggest other alternatives, please feel free to do so. Unfortunately, some of us, we can't do the space on Twitter, but there are others that can do that. you can do space on Twitter. And so let's just give us advice on other areas that you believe we can assist you. I know there was that question of the state of township address, business address. I've given it to the MEC responsible for business. But I know my office received that invite. I think they will be in a position to attend to it. The pastor in Kagiso, we agree with you. The church economy is massive. It's massive, very big. It's just that I couldn't get the areas where you needed us to intervene, but MEC Mzikumalo is here. Feel free to do that. I appreciate the advice and guidance, but sometimes I will advise that let us be specific. As this collective, we have normally government says that we must pay invoices within 30 days. As this collective, we've taken a decision that we are paying invoices within 15 days. That's how we want to settle invoices. There are only 1 or 2 departments that are still struck, but we are paying invoice. Actually, there are some departments that pay invoices within 3 days. I think, yeah, human settlement, GDAT, I think you do that as well. So, but as this collective, because you are right, we can't speak about small business and other things, and we pay them or we don't pay them. But what we have done as well, when we moved to 15 days payment of invoices, some of our officials, they withheld these invoices. They not even enrolled them within the system. So in the State of the Province address, MEC Mama Bulu is leading a team. If your invoice has not been paid within either 15 days or 30 days, we are opening an office that investigates that immediately. So if you have an invoice that is outstanding, MEC Mama Bulu, yeah. So this is the man that must pay invoices from departments. So we take that, but we are committing ourselves to pay invoices within 15 days. And I know, Lisiba Malotan, I know you're looking at me. I don't want to mention the MEC because the MEC does not pay invoices. Yeah. The MEC said it's instructed you to pay in 10 days. Yeah. So it's only health that we are solving, but generally our departments are paying invoices within 15 days. And it's deliberate. We said the law says 30, but we as Gauteng will do it within 15 days. So we will attend to that and deal with this. The drone strategy, I agree with you. It's just that DJI has monopolized the industry. It does not mean it's the only one. They've monopolized the industry. So I agree with you that we must diversify, but I also agree with the strategy. Let me tell you, and the department will tell you, the use of drones in this province is going to be the order of the day. Not only in fighting crime, but many other things. Analyzing, if you check what is happening in Deep Sloat, where people are complaining about crime, it's not only about crime. It's people who overnight just create other things that are not official. You go to bed with an empty space. When you wake up, people have put something in that empty space. So we need to monitor those kind of things as government. I mean, how many of us, while we are still enjoying something with our family, we are told somebody have decided to steal cables. I mean, cable theft is a serious problem, So, and we can't just fold our arms and say, if they've stolen it, they've stolen it. No, we have to put it. And drones in monitoring strategic cable areas, it will assist us to. So we are going big on that one to protect us on those things. And how many children goes missing as well? You have to go to the police station and they must go and phone somebody from K99 with a dog. But with a drone, you can launch it immediately. and look where we believe that we can get it. So the drone strategy and our approach in utilizing drones is massive in our province. But the team is here. They will be in a position to assist you to deal with this thing. Good people, I want to take this opportunity to thank you. I know there's a manufacturing question. I've noted it so that we can... We are trying to find something. So we have just noted you. We're trying to find something. This executive committee has taken a decision to say, let's be cautious, but let's check the validity of it. A train from Pretoria to Polokwane in 50 minutes. So we are looking at that. 50 minutes from Polokwane, from Petroport to Polokwane. And then they want to take it to Mosina. So we are looking at that possibility. So don't complain to Gebela. We might assist you when this train that will, but we've noted all these things. This is not the end, it's the beginning of interaction. And your feedback are highly, highly appreciated. I can assure you, I saw the MECs jotting down some. I've never seen the MECs writing so much. So they were writing, and I assumed that they were taking notes and guidance. So on behalf of this collective that we have the honor to lead this government in our province, we are just begging one thing, good people. One thing. Let's work together. And can only work together if we understand each other. And we believe what we have done today, we've started the process of understanding each other so that we can work together. You took your money, your petrol, and your time to come here. From the bottom of our heart, we truly, truly appreciate that. Until we meet again, it's a melenga hot. Egare modimo le badimo baka ba le lona. Re a leboga. Thank you. Oh, did I close? Yeah, there are refreshments outside, and then we can engage around the refreshments.